The Jeremiad. I would like to argue here that the Jeremiad is at play in the movie Wall-E, and it is in fact the Jeremiad that makes Wall-E's environmental message so effective. So before I can do that, what is the Jeremiad, right? It's a it's a rhetorical strategy is really what it is. And it has a long and interesting history, which I would like to discuss briefly here. I'm going to derive a lot of this information from Donna M. Campbell and her article, Forms of Puritan Rhetoric. So the term the Jeremiad refers to a sermon or another work that accounts for the misfortunes of an era as a just penalty for great social and moral evils, but holds out hope for changes that will bring a happier future. The Jeremiad is derived from the Old Testament prophet Jeremiah, who in the 7th century BC attributed the calamities of Israel to its abandonment of the covenant with Jehovah and its return to pagan idolatry. Now, the Jeremiad also, according to Sack von Berkovich in his book, The American Jeremiad, the Jeremiad was kind of like a call to action. It was a call to action against headlong zeal. Although the Jeremiad created anxiety through a recitation of current woes, the Jeremiads also reassured listeners by evoking the spirit of a glorious past and suggesting that the same spirit, now slumbering but able to be awakened, existed in the present day. Now, Jennifer English discusses the Jeremiad in her article on the rhetoric of Wall-E, and she breaks down the structure of the Jeremiad, how it's used, and its different structural components, and it really breaks down to 4 key elements. So the first element of the Jeremiad is that the rhetor reminds the audience of a previously established sacred covenant. The speaker points to sacred texts or the teachings of a spiritual teacher as the basis for the covenant. The second main point, or main element of the Jeremiad, is the rhetor outlining how the audience has failed to live up to the covenant and how this failure has brought disaster to the community. The speaker attributes the problems that the community is experiencing to the people's rejection of the covenant. The third element of the Jeremiad is the speaker encouraging the audience to restore the sacred promises and return to its core principles. Finally, the rhetor tells the audience that if they return to the following rules, then the community will be restored from the disaster. The Jeremiad allows for the possibility of redemption, but only if the community restores its previous values. Now, although the Jeremiad seems, kind of heavy with sacred covenants and disasters and whatnot, the beauty and the power of the Jeremiad is that it calls on a glorious past, and that has now been lost, at the present time is lost. And the Jeremiad says that if the sacred covenant is reestablished, that glorious past can be reawakened. It's still slumbering within the community, and it can be accessed again. So it's kind of, the light at the end of the tunnel. It can bring about great hope.